Welcome to our 14th episode of Your Money Life Coach on eRadio with me, Barbara Mundell. This is your weekly Wednesday inspiration to act and manage your money better. Now, today's discussion is about a question received from one of our listeners. She says that she's been banking with her bank for quite a while and she's been very disheartened that her bank didn't discuss the options to structure her bank charges with her in order to save money every month. Now, there's quite a lot of things that you can consider and should consider when you decide, one, which bank you're going to go with, and two, what pricing option should you select with that respective bank. Now, every bank is different. Let's start off there, and every bank has got its own niche, and you need to find the bank that aligns with your niche. For example, one bank is very technology driven, everything is done via their app on your smartphone, and another bank is very much driven on wanting to do everything online. Some banks still have quite a lot of things that you need to go into the branch for. So it really depends on your lifestyle, who you are, what do you feel comfortable with when you select your bank. In today's discussion, I'm hoping to give you some pointers, some things to look out for, some things to consider when you select your bank and then your pricing option. And I hope that you will make use of this in the future to determine the right bank charges for you. Now, let's first look at the basic types of accounts that you get, because some people still get confused with that. So you get a transmission account, which is basically an account that's linked to a card. Then you also get a savings account. Savings account generally has a very small portion of interest linked to it. Sometimes you can get a card linked to it, but using that card generally has higher charges than you would on your normal transaction account. And then you get a check account, or a current account as most of us know it. Now, the name is still confusing because we don't use checks anymore, but a check account is basically something that you can link an overdraft facility to, or that's giving you some sort of credit score, credit interaction, how you interact on that account. It also comes with a card, a debit card as they call it, that you can swipe, that you can do things, and we no longer offer checks, but it used to be linked that you could order a checkbook to it as well. Now, most of the banks have got all of these accounts, and you need to look at the pricing and what's right for you and how you use your account to consider that. Now, things that banks generally take into account when they do pricing is, first of all, there's always a base monthly account fee. Now, if you've got a bundled option or not, there's generally always an account fee, or they say your account, there is no account fee, but then your transaction charges on those accounts are very much higher. So on a typical check account, you'll have a base fee, plus then you will have additional fees for things that you do. Now, things that banks generally tend to levy fees on is things like your cash withdrawals, cash deposits. They do offer some discounts if you, for example, do it at a cash deposit ATM. So that's in order to reduce the risk for them of keeping that money physically in the bank and having someone interacting with it. The next I generally have is the amount of payments that you make, or the amount of times you swipe your card. Now, I think most banks have moved on to, if you have the bundled pricing option, all of your card swipes is free. Some of them even on the base fee, only all of your card swipes is free, because that's what they try and encourage you to use your bank card rather than cash. Another thing that most banks have got a fee for, some don't, is a subscription to online banking. Now, for me, if you pay a monthly account fee, your online banking fee should be included in that. But just bear in mind, when you do calculate what your monthly account fee will be, some banks do charge a fee for that or not. Some banks charge a fee for every debit order that goes off. This is typically more on business accounts though, I must say, but there is the option on some personal accounts where they do charge a fee per debit order that goes off. And then lastly, they generally also then charge a fee for credit that you use, such as an overdraft, a revolving credit. Sometimes you can link your credit card fees or fees to other accounts on your main account. So yeah, there's quite a lot that you need to take into account when you do your banking. So what I would do, and what I've done to compare my personal bank fees, is I've gone through the last 3 months of transactions on my bank account and said, right, I've got 5 debit orders, I made true cash deposits. I withdrew cash 4 times, and I have got 10 payments that I've made. I then wrote all of that down, and then I compared it by bank, what they charge, what their monthly account fee is, what their facility fees are, and then I've added it all up and looked at what my typical banking behavior would cost me with bank X, Y, and Z. That's helped me to change my behavior to reduce my bank fees quite a lot, because I've realized that, for example, if I draw cash at a Pick n Pay or Checkers ATM, I actually get discounts, whereas if I draw at the physical ATM, there's an additional fee. So there's small things that you can also do to change your behavior if you want to go with a particular bank. Most banks has also introduced a reward program. Again, if there's a subscription to the reward program, I suggest that you thoroughly investigate that, see what the fees are, see what the real benefits that you will make use of for that. So again, have a look 3 months back, where would that loyalty program play into your finances, and how would you use that appropriately. That's it for me today. Be sure to tune in next week, Wednesday, for your weekly Wednesday inspiration to act and manage your money better. Also remember, this is available as a podcast where you can view it on eRadio's website. Share it with your friends and family if you found it useful. And then lastly, if you want to reach out to us or pose a question that we can answer for you like this listener did, you're welcome to visit our website www.yourmoneylifecoach.co.za, or you can find us on Facebook at Your Money Life Coach.